If you're new to fasting, or maybe you've tried it before but you're struggling to see results, honestly, I'm not surprised. There is so much mixed information trying to sell you something. Fasting Tube is independent and focusing on real information. Let's get started with today's video.
The question, is 16/8 fasting a sustainable lifestyle choice? I believe that the 16/8 intermittent fasting protocol is one of the best forms of fasting for optimal health. Here's why. A portion of this answer was taken from an article I Tim Ernst wrote from my Tour Around Fitness blog. The original article can be found at 7 Top Evidence-Based Health Benefits of Intermittent Fasting. One way to reduce overall calorie intake without dieting is to incorporate intermittent fasting. Reduce overall calorie intake without dieting. The most popular form for intermittent fasting is the 16/8 protocol. Usually the 16/8 intermittent fasting protocol skips breakfast. But what about breakfast? Isn't that the most important meal of the day? The crazy thing about breakfast being the most important meal of the day are mostly myths. It seems that breakfast eaters tend to have healthier habits in general. So many studies have shown breakfast eaters tend to be healthier. The problem is these studies only show that people who eat breakfast are more likely to be healthier, but they cannot prove that breakfast itself caused it. Myth number 1. Eating breakfast boosts metabolism. Myth number 1. Eating breakfast does not boost metabolism. Studies show that there is no difference in calories burned over 24 hours between people who eat or skip breakfast. Whether we eat or skip breakfast has no effect on the amount of calories we burn throughout the day. This is a myth. Myth number 2. Skipping breakfast causes weight gain. Myth number 2. Yes, it's true that skipping breakfast causes people to be hungrier and eat more lunch, but this is not enough to overcompensate for the breakfast that was skipped. In fact, some studies have even shown that skipping breakfast may reduce overall calorie intake by up to 400 calories per day. Skipping breakfast is actually a common part of many intermittent fasting methods, and is what I do every single day. And it has been the best decision I've ever made. However, if you still want to eat breakfast, make sure to avoid these 10 breakfast food killers. There are a few different protocols you can follow. For example, there's the popular time-restricted feeding, e.g., 16/8 method, where you fast for an extended number of hours each day, e.g., 16, followed by unrestricted eating during the feeding window, e.g., 8 hours. There's also alternate day fasting, ADF, which involves heavily restricted caloric intake, e.g., greater than 400 calories, or complete fasting for a prescribed number of days each week. An example is the 5-2 diet, where you fast for 2 days a week and eat with no restrictions the other 5 days. There's also the fast mimicking diet, which is designed to mimic the benefits of prolonged fasting by heavily restricting caloric intake, about 40% of normal intake, for 5 consecutive days out of each month. Of course, intermittent fasting works best if, overall, the food you do eat is healthy and nutritious, and of course, you must be sure to stay hydrated on fasting days. With that being said, here are 7 top evidence-based health benefits why intermittent fasting is incredibly healthy and will continue to be a hot trend and for years to come equals greater than 7 top evidence-based health benefits of intermittent fasting.